What's going on YouTube? This is Chaos-Reighn here, and I know I haven't been posting the past couple of days. It's been a little bit hectic on, just trying to keep up with the things I gotta do. However, I am still playing relatively consistently, and I have, a little bit of updates for you so you guys can kind of see where I'm at in the league and how I'm making a lot of my currency, along with my goals and aspirations going forward. So, as you guys know, I have been trying to just push this build into converting to ice shot. I've had a lot of fun with Toxic Rain, and I think I'm about at a point to where I'm going to either do one or two of things. The first is invest about 30-ish exalts in an empower and a bow, and just finish off the build so I have no excuse to say, hey, I didn't not try my best. You know what I mean? So I want to push this build as far as I can with as much of a decent budget as I can push it and see where I can take it. And from there, once I get a good understanding of everything, hopefully I'll have all of the ice shot gear and everything like that fully leveled, all the gems ready and everything like that, so I can just, you know, take care of that. So let's see. Well, that's interesting. Unique item, not able to transform. Interesting. So it looks like the patch has been finally implemented, which has been something that, has they've been taking their sweet time with. We're about a week or so behind schedule, or a week and a couple of days behind schedule as far as PC goes. They got theirs really quick, and console, you know how console is. They don't really care too much about us, so. However, I will say a good quality of life is the fact that we actually got our 3 syndicate encounters this league, and I find that to be really, really cool. So, first things first, we're going to go ahead and go over the different things that we have. We are still using the same shabby belt. Eventually, I'm going to change this and upgrade it to another belt, but it's just what I have for now, and I've just been too lazy to change it. We've been running a lot of heists, so we have a lot of rogue markers saved up, along with buying a bunch of contracts from pretty much anyone and everyone we can buy them from. So we still have like, let's see, 30, 50, 70, 100, 100 plus contracts. However, we are out of replica blueprints, so we're probably going to be running the alternate quality gem blueprints, especially since there's a couple of really big hits and there's even a unique replacement from the curios that's extremely expensive. So aside from that, we are just kind of grinding our way to getting as much currency as possible. But another thing I will say is like we've been having issues with our tabs as far as sorting them. For example, if I were to go to my, let's see if, I don't know if they fixed it, but let's see. Before, if we had our guild bank, right, and we decided to put it all the way to the front page, and then swapped instances, say, to Oriath. Let's see if they fix this, so you guys can kind of get an understanding of where console has been at. But if you would swap instances, it wouldn't save the state of the tab movements, and this was a really big problem, especially when trying to keep your tabs sorted or keep them at least in a way that you can organize them. So basically dumping into dumb tabs was pretty cancer when you had to scroll through 13 pages to do it. So that's another problem we've had, but we're just going to go ahead and see if we can catch this on, on the video to show you guys. Let's see. Well, it looks like they fixed that, which is huge. So um, next thing I'll show you is directly in my tab. So aside from doing that, I'm also farming for prophecies, and I'm doing this because there's a couple of reasons. One, low tier map farming is the meta right now, especially doing a low tier MF farm, and that's something I'm probably going to be investing in sooner rather than later because I love low tier farming. I used to low tier farm when I first played. It used to be decent. Now that it's cool again, I'm probably going to be grinding it out. And then another thing is stocking up on a lot of jewels due to heists and a lot of not alt quality gems, but 20 quality gems due to heist is extremely valuable. So as far as the alt quality or the quality and leveled up gems go, I usually price them at about 10C and accept anywhere between 7 or 9 on the low end, but it just kind of depends on what's on market or anything like that. For the most part, they sell. And then all the jewels, as long as it's a any mod, I just bulk price them at 10C each. And, you know, not saying they all sell for 10C, but the good ones will sell for 10C. And the really, really good ones I put aside for like a couple X if they're like 4 mods, super strong jewels. I've been making a lot of passive currency this way, and it is an insane way to just kind of sustain and over sustain all of your value. And then we have been mainly donating our sack fragments to our guild basically to try and help them out. And just trying to kind of keep up with that. I don't really care about at Zeri Fight or Uber at Zeri Fight. I have a couple of the Uber at Zeri fragments, as you can see, but I mean, even if I decided to run these, I don't really care enough to run Uber at Siri. Then we have we have a bunch of replicas, some more jewels and stuff like that that we've just gems, etc., that just we've been sitting on and trying to price. I've made most of my currency this league off of these. And then as far as our red tier maps, we literally have been just any red tier map that we get, we bulk out at 7 or 8 chaos each, depending on layout. And this is another huge passive currency buff as far as just gaining currency along with running contracts. When you're spending about 2 chaos per contract 80 plus, you get about 100 contracts for 200 chaos. Out of those, you get more than 100 maps if you get enough of Isla, which, I mean, honestly speaking, you're going to get a lot of Isla because she's pretty common. You're going to get a lot of maps in return, and then the sextants that you get is relatively solid. 42 awakens, 35 of the, what is this, prime? Yeah. And this is mainly off of like maybe a day and a half of farming and 80 plus heists. Obviously, the way heists work is the higher it is, the higher sextant you drop, just like in maps. So you have to get 80 plus to drop awakened sextants. And then when we do map, we do have a bunch of tainted orbs that we've been just kind of holding onto because we use them very often to make our 6 links and sell those. As of now, we have a couple cool upgrades. Our first one is the Chaos-Reighn with with reduced ES recovery rate, which is useless to me. Regenerate 22.6 life per second, which is amazing, and then 9% effective non-cursed aura skills. So because we are going to be using Hatred, and Hatred is a very, very strong aura to scale, I'm thinking of maybe going about 100 aura effect on my Hatred this league, especially since it shouldn't be very hard to do. And just sitting there bursting out enemies and deleting the enemies real quick. We already have our SNS marked with Eyeshot Enchant, courtesy of a good friend of mine. I have a couple of my gems leveled up, and we have even more leveling up. Hold on, can I switch, please? No? Can I? Yeah, there we go. Okay. We have even more leveling up. They're all 19 or close to 20. Our only awakened gem is Awakened Cold Pin, and it's at 20 quality currently. Um, you know, just level 1. Eventually it'll get up, but yeah, that's what we're working on right now, is leveling up the gems very slowly but surely. And then right here we have a kind of a plethora of other projects. By projects I mean what I usually do is I will take and I will 6 socket the item and then 5 link the item, either buying a 5 link craft for like 5 chaos and take it to the Krangler. Now this one I want to divine it because I want to get it as high as high and as close to the evasion cap on it as possible. The cold damage is secondary to me because usually I scale so much damage that the cold damage just kind of falls off, or it's like overkill at that point, and that's just kind of where I'm at there. Then we have, then the rest of them are just kind of Krangle bait that are just waiting. We have a couple of armors. One is Avis Mortis, about to hit tier 3. Hopefully it gets good. And then a Solaris Lorica about to hit the tier 2. Same situation there. And hopefully they link, but I mean, if they don't link, we just spend a couple Chaos on Fusings and just 6 link it and sell them for like an X or 2. And then we have our 6 link collection here. Basically, everything in here except for, with the exception of this, has been 6 linked. This is what was recommended to me to be a project for leveling up Empowers, because it does have plus 10 quality to socketed gems. I would have 30 quality on all of my gems in this weapon, and on an offhand of a strength build, and just be able to do it. I just have it posted for 2x. Then we have a couple of armors here, some bows. This is one of our cool ones, the triple damage and just stuff like that that we have going. We have a couple primordials. We found a fair amount of primordials this league, so that's pretty strong. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at there. Let me go ahead and price this because I haven't priced that yet, and that's about it. Yep, that's about it. So yeah, that's what we're doing in League, and what I wanted to kind of show you a little bit is how the playstyle is. I don't know. I think I showed you a little bit about my heisting, but just how mapping is. Mapping is, I'd like to say a B minus tier so far. I don't know. I haven't played since the patch came out today for console. But the patch was supposed to nerf a lot of the barrage-esque type attacks and the attacks that were way overtuned, along with buff the rate that you get corruption on your maps. So what I had planned to do today is maybe put in a couple of maps just to test it out and see how that works, but why not test it on video? So let's see what we have here. Fungal Hollow. And we Hiscarado. And then I'm just gonna corrupt them so I get the awaken bonus. I didn't get my regals out, huh? Alright, hold on. Here we go. Well, at least I haven't completed it yet. And that's fine. Okay. So let's go ahead and give this a go and see how it plays. Now, I will say, let's see, 50 in a currency delirium orb. I don't think that's worth it, buddy. I'm pretty sure currency delirium orbs are pretty worth it, this thing, right? Looks like our search function is not working properly, so that's interesting. You know what? I'll just let him have it because I don't really care too much. I found it recently and it pays for a couple of blueprints, so why not? So let's go ahead and jump straight into a map just to kind of show you guys exactly the playstyle. Now the way I have it lined up is I have relatively close to all caps I need to be capped. What I want to do is eventually I want to be 150% spell suppression capped so I can convert to spell dodge and see how that feels. Especially since a lot of the damage is spells, just being able to completely ignore it would be better than just taking the damage outright. Sorry, I do have controller drift on this controller, so you're going to have to deal with that a little bit. So basically all we do here is we pop our mana flask, we throw down some totems, and then we drop a bunch of toxic rains, and it just kind of clears everything. I'm probably firing more than I need to, but that's just the way I play. Is I just want to make sure everything's dead. Can't tell my controller's messing up just a little bit. Alright, so now that we have our Kringle, basically we go after this, we basically immediately turn around and start killing as many enemies as possible. And it looks like we have our hunter taunt, so that's cool. Alright, so now what we can do is we can go Kringle. I believe it's the map. Yep, okay, so boom, it gave us a stack of Legion Spinners. That's perfect. Alright, now we can just keep going here. I want to try and get this freezing shrine if possible. Alright, I got it. Offer received 40 CE on the carcass jack. Alright, I'll take that. Now we have our Kringle thing ready, so we're just going to immediately Kringle. Go ahead and try and deal with these guys. So it looks like they have kind of tweaked the way the enemies in Kringle work, so that it feels a little less overwhelming on red tier maps, which is cool. I thought it was insane before, so I mean, I like the change right there. Ah, that hurt. Possessed mobs are painful, so be careful. I don't. I normally on my mapping, I just complete the whole map just because I like the cringling aspect of the game, and the cringling is really fun. But before, I was basically running almost solely contracts and blueprints, and that's because like it just didn't feel profitable doing 200 maps to get one map ready to kringle, one map ready from your all your kringling and all that stuff, and then I'm exaggerating a bit, but no, it took so long. So these are chaos monsters, so you gotta kind of fight them a little bit. There we go. We do have enfeeble, so we gotta be careful a little bit. Excuse me. Alright. And yeah, this is basically what I've been playing, Chaos-Reighn Raider. And I chose Raider over Deadeye because I believe it's an issue with the Deadeye to where I was attacking so fast with the Quill Rain, it just felt like I was freezing my console and dying every single time. And when I switched to the Raider, I had just a little bit less attack speed, or at least enough of a less multiplier in the attack speed to kind of enjoy doing what I needed to do. Alright, let's see. See if I can't kill him real quick. Okay.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Thankfully, I don't take a lot of damage from these things, so I can just kind of scroll through everything. Oh, excuse me.
My mana is gone.
There we go. Haas can be a problem if you don't know how to deal with him. He can be a problem even if you do know how to deal with him. He's annoying. Now, as you see, we don't have amazing damage. We have good damage and able to kill rares and able to kill map bosses for really easily. Conquerors take a little bit of extra time, but we are still using the Quill Rain, and the Quill Rain is a strictly ZDPS bow for the most part. It'll help carry you all the way to red tier maps, but eventually you'll feel the damage dip, so you'll have to go for a +3 bow. Well, it looks like our Abyss disappeared, which is fine. I don't really care too much about the Abyss. And yeah, even though this feels like it's a little slow, I think that's just because of what we have, and Feeble makes us do a little less damage. As you see, once we get it ramped up, we basically delete the boss. Alright. And that's our map. T16, T14, 15, or whatever. Either way. red tier awakener 8, and that's how you go about playing this. Now, because I do a lot of contracts, I don't really need any more damage or to push more damage, so I've literally just been saving my currency for the next big upgrades. Eventually, I'll get those so I can do the content faster. But the big thing is there's no Empower 4s on market, and that's just kind of is what it is, right? Um, it's early league on console, and I guess it's pretty slow to get cards this league, I guess. But either way, without further ado, I do appreciate you guys joining me for my video today, and I will be posting another one shortly. Be sure to tune in and check that one out, and hopefully it's informative or at least helpful in any general kind of way. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, everybody, take it easy.